So it appears that the fear-mongering has reached all new heights. Wait till you see what I'm about to show you today. So as I point out in other videos, there are a whole bunch of articles coming out from mainstream media telling people, warning people, all of the reasons why you shouldn't be growing backyard chickens. You don't need to raise your own eggs. You don't need to buy them from other sources. Those are dangerous things to do. Beware. And to give you all even financial reasons why you can't afford these things. You're not saving any money by going and raising your own animals and raising your own eggs and stuff like that. You're not doing anything for the environment, of course. And so all of these reasons why you shouldn't be doing them. But the overarching underlying reason you see over and over again is that this is a dangerous activity. And now your pets are in danger from the bird cough cough. Your pets, your cats, all of your animals at home, everyone's in danger of this horrible, horrible disease that has killed one person in the United States. One. Over at Wired.com, which has long been a bastion of liberal news drivel. And so Wired.com comes out with an article, How to Protect Your Cats and Backyard Chickens from the Bird Cough Cough. A nationwide egg shortage has sent prices soaring at your local grocery store, and the culprit is the H5N1 bird cough cough. The virus has infected poultry flocks in every U.S. state. Not true. They're culling lots of birds in every U.S. state. With lots of farmers, as I pointed out in Pennsylvania recently, that said, hey, listen, my birds were completely fine, and the state of Pennsylvania killed over 100,000 of them. He had no sicknesses, he complained of no deaths, and they killed his birds anyway. With more than 166 million chickens having been killed by the cough cough or culled to contain it. Yeah, we're containing it by killing your chickens that are completely healthy and show no signs of sickness or disease. H5N1 is also spreading among cattle, and with close to 1,000 U.S. dairy herds affected. Again, many being culled without any sickness or death related in the herds. It is suspected to be widespread among wild birds. I have yet to see one. I have yet to see a dead bird anywhere on my property, and I walk my property almost on a daily basis, and I don't see anything. I see no birds lying on the ground. My kids have found none. We have bird feeders out. My neighbors have bird feeders out, but it's widespread amongst the wild birds. But these aren't the only animals at risk. Domestic cats, the cats, please don't hurt the cats, are particularly susceptible to catching the cough cough, which can be fatal in felines, while the rising trend of, it's fatal in everything. Do you understand that? You understand the message you're trying to portray? This is fatal in everything and everyone. While the rising trend of keeping backyard chickens, partly in response to the egg shortage, risking driving up cases further. Pets and backyard flocks can catch the virus from infected birds, alive or dead, as well as from droppings, contaminated surfaces, and contaminated food. The reported number, now here's the deal. Here's where we get into the lunacy. The reported number of U.S. pets impacted by bird flu is relatively low. But cases of H5N1 in domestic cats are rising across the country. As of March 12th, there have been 115 cases recorded in pet cats across 20 states, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That same Department of Agriculture that belongs to that same U.S. government that is $37 trillion in debt. Just a quick side note. However, many cases in pets are probably being missed. As a result, not all cases are tested. And here we go. Bird cough cough can also be missed during testing if an infected animal isn't shedding the virus at the time they were tested, making it difficult, mind you, to pinpoint just how widespread the virus is among pets. Yes, I don't have any symptoms. Yes, that's one of the symptoms. You're sick. You just don't know it. And because you're sick and you don't know it, we're going to have you off yourself and make sure if you somehow manage to survive, we're not going to allow you to have any pets anymore because, they might be sick and they probably are sick. And by having those pets, you're putting everyone at risk. And you can't have animals that, we use for food because you're putting everyone at risk in that way. So why don't you just eat our plant-based mung bean eggs? We have known for years that cats are susceptible to influenza. I think everyone can get the flu, right? I mean, it's not like it's, specific to cats. Cats are also becoming infected by being fed raw food, either homemade or commercially available, as well as unpasteurized. Oh, see, we're attacking everything in this article. We can't leave out the war clim. You have to attack the war clim. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a liberal publication. And you can't feed cats raw meat. I mean, that's what they've been eating for thousands of years. But now, no, the only thing you can feed your cats is dry kibble in order to be safe. Faye says the best thing to do to protect your cat is to keep them inside and away from wildlife. And avoid feeding raw or undercooked meat and poultry products, warclim, and raw dairy products and raw pet food diets to their pets. See, you can't feed them the foods that they've been living on for thousands of years. Absolutely not. And you can't let them go outside and be subjected to the outside wildlife out there. I mean, that's putting their lives on the line. These animals that existed for thousands of years, roaming the countryside and eating raw meats from the prey that they've stalked and killed, that's just dangerous. We can't do that today. We're living in a civilized age. This is why I tell people Disney has done more harm to Western civilization than anything else out there. Nothing has been more destructive to the mindset of reality than Disney. Nothing. Disney is the destroyer of worlds. Dry kibble, that's all you get. For cats who enjoy living life on the edge, meaning spending time outside, Faye says leashed walks are a good option. She also encourages cat owners to consider constructing secure catios or enclosed and covered outdoor areas to allow the animals to still get fresh air and the sensory stimulation of being outside, but without the risk of contact with wildlife and their droppings. How did the animal world, how did wildlife exist and survive for thousands of years? I just don't understand it. As there are concerns that bird flu could also be passed to dogs, Faye recommends keeping dogs on a leash because leashes stop the spread of viruses. Don't you know? Leashes will stop a virus cold. Right there and there. It's like the kryptonite to viruses, a leash. Faye recommends keeping dogs on a leash when outside as well. The AVMA also advises against feeding raw and undercooked foods to treats to dogs. How will the coyotes and the wolves out there survive? I just don't know. I have no. We shoot coyotes on site here, just by the way. They kill livestock, so we're doing our part here to make sure that the coyotes out there in the Ozarks are not eating raw and undercooked foods when they kill our livestock. Faye says that cat owners should seek out veterinary attention if they have any concerns about their pet's health. Symptoms of bird cough to watch for include loss of appetite, lethargy, fever, runny nose, runny eyes, and tremors. If you have a sick pet and are making a veterinary appointment, be sure to notify the clinic when scheduling that you are concerned about bird flu. Yes, you bring your animal to the vet. You know what? I'm just concerned, doctor. I'm concerned about bird flu. Your veterinary team may ask you and your pet to wait outside until your appointment time and may take additional precautions in the clinic to prevent the possible spread of your disease. But this article is just getting started. How to protect your pet chickens. Keeping backyard chickens has become a popular hobby, including in large cities across the United States. And with the rising price of eggs, it's likely that more and more Americans are going to start keeping flocks. They are. If they spend time outside, backyard flocks are at high risk of catching the bird cough right now. If they spend time outside, I know lots of people who own chickens. I don't know any of them who keep their chickens inside. I mean, I did see that video one time where it was talking about the chickens were actually on the couch and scratching. I didn't know what was more disturbing, the chickens being inside or the fact that they're actually scratching the couch for bugs. You leave a comment below. For those considering becoming chicken owners, Faye recommends first contacting the local health and agriculture departments to discuss the risk of the bird cough in your local area prior to bringing any chickens home. If the risk of infection is high where you live, for instance, if there have been reported outbreaks in a flock nearby, consider delaying and becoming an owner. But if you are still set on getting chickens and living life on the edge, or if you have already have a backyard flock and there are precautions that you can take, Faye says, chickens should not be permitted to roam free in your yard. Instead, keep them in a covered coop or run to prevent exposure, mind you, to wildlife. You know, those dangerous outdoors. Faye also encourages owners to limit their chickens' exposure to guests who could unintentionally induce the disease to fly. You don't have friends over. You know, I know everyone wants to come over and see your chickens, but you're not allowed to do that. By having friends over for dinner or just to visit, no, they're putting your chickens at risk and in turn, putting everyone at risk. So what we're going to do, what we're going to have to do from now on is if you have chickens if you're one of these people who love to put yourself at risk, we're going to have to go ahead and quarantine you and not allow you to leave the home in order to make sure you're not putting others at risk. You think this is funny. You think this is entertaining. But I'm telling you, this is exactly where we're going. We're going to a place where they're going to put chicken owners or people who are determined to have pets or who are living in places that are rural enough to have pets. They're going to put you and subjugate you into the very corners of society so you cannot hurt others. And they're going to scare the public to death with articles of lunacy like this to make sure that the public goes along with your seclusion and quarantine. Make no mistake, that's where we're going. What's driving this is the World Economic Forum. There is no doubt. They're the ones who are driving this. They want to put you in 15-minute cities. They have said this publicly. They want to know where all food comes from. They have said we want to know, and we want governments to know where all food is produced. They have said these things. This is not like I'm just pulling this out. It's on their websites. You can go to C40s. I think it's c40cities.com. You just Google it. C40 cities. You can go to the World Economic Forum website. They have their own website. They're telling you what they want to do. They want to put you in little secluded areas. They want to get everyone out of the rural areas, and they want to control the food, and they want to feed you a plant-based food system. They have said over and over again on their website, I have done videos on it, that the majority of your food will come from plants or plant-like substances. Mung beans. I love mung beans. I actually sprout mung beans from time to time here on my homestead. I've grown mung beans. Big fan. But, I love my meat. I love my eggs. I love my protein. And I'm not giving them up just for mung bean, substances that are highly processed, chemically laden, food from the grocery store. I'm not going to do it. The only way you stop this is to contact your state representatives, state legislators, because the World Economic Forum has learned recently, okay, the way we attack this is not to go after the federal government. We'll have our clause in there too, but that can change from administration to administration as we're seeing now. But the state level Department of Agriculture, that's where we want to get our hooks into, especially in the blue states where it's very, very easy to do so. And in the places where it's more reddish or more purplish, what we'll do is we'll go in and talk to those state legislators and we'll give them some monetary incentives to go ahead and go along with our agenda. This is exactly what happened in Indiana. I did a video on that previously. That's exactly what's going on in Pennsylvania right now, where the Department of Agriculture in Pennsylvania has passed a law, I think it was Bill 324, that allows the Department of Agriculture in that state to hire unlimited amounts of brown shirts, technicians, to go out and carry out the bidding of the Department of Agriculture. And these technicians or brown shirts only have to have up to an 8th grade education, because when you're dumb and illiterate, you're easier to control. That's exactly what's happening. They have a very great game plan here. The only way you stop this game plan is to make a lot of noise. And you continue to support farmers who grow and raise their own animals and food. Okay? Stop buying food at the grocery store. Find the majority of you, if you can. I understand you can't do it all. I don't even do it all. for the most part, find farmers you can support, find growers you can support, and then support them locally. And then be a really squeaky wheel to your state reps and state senators. That's how you do this. The WEF is very loud, and they're speaking with lots of money that they're passing out to all these people. You have to be loud too, because you don't have a lot of money, but you can be loud, and you can be obnoxious, and you can drive home your point that you want food freedom. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, guys, listen. We got the new recipe book out for theperfectpickler.com. This is going out with all of our value packs, full color recipe book. It gives you all kinds of information on the benefits of fermentation, vegetable fermentation. If you've never done fermentation before, you're growing your own probiotics at home. Those fermented sauerkrauts and kimchis and stuff like that you buy at the store, they have no probiotics. They're made with vinegar. Okay, they can't be probiotics and sell them in the store legally. In fact, studies have come back with all this milk kefir and all this stuff, and think kombuchas and stuff that you buy in the store. Studies have been done. Very, 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 very little probiotics. If you want massive amounts of probiotics for good gut health, you need to grow them yourself at home. This is what Perfect Pickler does. You can get the value package. It's our best seller, or you can get our master system like that. We're selling a lot of these to our retail outlets. So be sure to check out perfectpickler.com and check out the new recipe book. If you've already got a kit, if you have the old recipe book, it's got a lot of the same information in there, but it's got a lot of new stuff too. So pick that up, and then actually pick one up for a friend too and give them one. All right, guys. Love you. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit perfectpickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's perfectpickler.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the Homestead that we make here on the Homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.